Good evening, everybody. My name is Karthik Sitaraman. I wanted to share with you my analysis on S&P 500. Today is 30th of April, and what you're seeing in front of you is a monthly chart of S&P 500. You can see it's here, S&P 500, and it's a quarterly chart actually, not even monthly. It's a quarterly chart. So I think I see Elliot Wave's 5-year pattern here in the S&P currently. I would consider this to be the first wave and this to be the second wave, and I would like this to be the third wave. I think this is the fourth wave. Now we are in the fifth wave of the sequence. So I think there will be a time in future where the market will stop and complete the fifth wave. And then you know what happens next. If for Elliot Wave professionals or people who are aware on Elliot Wave, you know that Elliot Wave, once the fifth wave, impulsive wave, is completed, it's going to have to make a huge retracement. So I think that's what will happen. So there is a possibility that the market will turn around. It will hit fifth wave, and then it can turn down, and it can come down somewhere around here is what I think is going to happen. And in the markets, when things happen, they try to normally associate that to a geopolitical event. So even in this case, I'm sure there will be some sort of event. It could even be a North Korea war or something like that. That would be the reason, they would say, for the market to crash. But in reality, you could see that the technical analysis, in this case Elliot Wave, clearly shows that the market will end at a given time period. We don't know exactly when it's going to happen, but it will happen somewhere around here. So let me just take you a little bit more into the details of how I'm figuring out in terms of what the target would be. I wanted to proceed with the chart, but I figured it may be helpful for people who may not know Elliot Wave up until now. I wanted to give a little bit of a starter lesson, if you will. Okay, so the Elliot Wave was found by someone named R.N. Elliot back in 1930s or something. So those things are not important. There was a gentleman who figured this wave pattern in the market repeatedly, and he realized that by learning the Elliot Wave, one could potentially predict. So, but in my experience, it is always better to react to the market as opposed to predicting them, because predictions don't always work, whereas reactions would work, because you are just reacting to what's happening at the present time. But Elliot Waves, even though it's a prediction tool, it would be a guide. So I wouldn't really act on it just because of the pattern, but I would see what's going to happen at critical levels and then react to what's happening. So let me just give you a crash course here. So let me take the pen tool here. So the Elliot Wave has got 5 different waves in the uptrend or downtrend sequence, and then there will be a correction sequence. So for example, let me take the blue color here. So the first wave, this is what is called the first wave, and then the second wave will be like this. This will be the second wave. This is a correction wave, and then there will be a longest and strongest, they call it. That's the third Elliot Wave, and then once it stops, it will again correct. That will be the fourth wave, and then again the fifth wave starts and it again goes up all the way, and then it ends at one point. Once that ends, the market will have two options. One is it can correct the fifth wave. Basically, it will correct, and sometimes it can be ABC pattern, and it will come like this. It will stop somewhere around here, and then the market can continue the uptrend, the preceding trend, earlier trend, basically. Or it could also be that it will come down and it can correct all the way to the first wave. All right, so that's the basics for now. So let's see how I'm able to get the target points in S&P 500 in the current times. Okay. Alright, so let's just get to the Fibonacci tool. It's right here, and I try from the correction wave, second wave, that is, I try to put the Fibonacci from here to here, and these are the critical points in the market. So this is a retracement. It comes down to 23.6 Fibonacci, and then it turned around, and now it's hitting the 27 extension, Fibonacci extension they call it. So it's hitting somewhere around here right now. There is a possibility that the market will end here and it can go down, but there is also a possibility that it can continue to go to the next Fibonacci extension level, which is 50%. I somehow think that the market will go up to the 50% extension before it turns around. That's just my thought. I mean, there's no guarantee that that's going to happen. It's quite possible that the market may turn around at 27%, but I somehow think it's going to go up to 27%. So based on that, I can see that 23 around 2400 is one possible target, and the second target could be somewhere between 2600 and 2700. So it could be this area right here. In other words, somewhere around here in the X where I put it. We have to obviously wait and see if it happens, but the first wave has happened here, and the second wave has happened, and the third wave has happened, and the fourth wave has happened, and the fifth wave is right now underway. So it could turn around somewhere in these two areas, here or here. How long will it take? Nobody knows. Elliot Waves, even though it predicts the target levels, the price points, it does not, however, doesn't predict the time it takes, even though some people say that there is a way to figure out using Fibonacci time tools or something. I guess there is a tool right here somewhere, Fibonacci time it's called. What you can see here, I'm just showing it to you now here. Let me just get my pen here. You can see the Fibonacci time. That tool can be used to figure out the time, but I'm not too familiar with it, or I now do a trust in that tool. So I'm not sure if that will happen. So let me now tell you. So now I just told you where it could potentially go to, but then now I tell you where it would correct to. So let's just have a look at that. Let's assume for our exercise we'll think this is the level where the market is going to end, meaning terminate and then reverse. The lead five-wave pattern ends and it's going to reverse that. Let's consider if that happens. Let's see where it's going to retrace to. Okay, for that what you need to do is you have to use again the same Fibonacci pattern, meaning Fibonacci retracement tool rather. We should try to do the opposite way. Okay, you can see that the Fibonacci 27% from top to bottom, that's the extension, comes to about 1600 area. Okay, and the Fibonacci 50% extension for this pattern also comes down over here somewhere around 1400 or something. So we have two possible targets when the correction happens. But as as most of you know, in standard technical analysis, the support level becomes resistance once it's broken. Similarly, when the price comes down, the same support, the earlier resistance will become support. So in this case, let's say this level and this level are very critical levels. This is the .com crash in 2000, and this is the financial collapse that happened in 2007. So these are the two levels. They were resistance earlier. Now they're going to become support. So I kind of think that somewhere around this area is a possible level for the market to stop retracing or stop the correction. So somewhere around 1500 to 1650 is what I think would be the target point. If the market is to crash at this level, it's probably going to retrace to somewhere around here. And I mean, there is other possibility as well. Like I was just showing you when I was drawing the Elliot waves for you, the market could do two things when it corrects. It could come down to this level first. If that doesn't happen, it can also go down all the way. It can correct all the way to the fifth wave, the earlier first wave. So it can correct the entire 5-wave sequence. It means it could come somewhere around here, but I don't know if that's going to happen because that's too much of a crash. So we never know in the market. Anything can happen. I mean, if North Korean war starts or third world war comes in, anything can happen. Nobody knows. But at least this would be a conservative target in my opinion. So if the market crashes, you can be rest assured that it is going to stop somewhere around here. Likely it won't stop anywhere here. It may not stop. The correction will go all the way down here, somewhere around here is my thought process. And since the resistance also is here, that becomes support. So eventually I think people will buy the stocks or futures, all that. They'll buy it back here, right? So then it might start again with the going up possibly. So if it crashes here, it comes down here, and then it goes from here is my thought process. If you have any comments, or if you want to understand a little bit more on what I have told so far, feel free to leave your comments, and I'll be happy to respond back to you. Okay, thanks very much everyone, and have a wonderful day. I hope it was useful.